All right, we are
Ooh.
recording.
Yeah. All right, cool. All right. Well, you know what? In installing, since we have, this will be the abbreviated 20-minute version of this. The idea
Excellent.
was to do a little bit of refresher along labels, mirrors, and dynamic silence. So let's do a little bit of lightning round. How does that sound, Henrik?
That sounds great. That sounds great. And I don't know about you guys. How do you feel about the labels and the mirror? We might just go around for a little check-in. Amber, you joined from Italy. What are your experience with labels and mirrors on your behalf? Just to start with.
I'm not sure what you mean by what my experience is.
Okay, yeah, that was a tough question to start with, Henrik. So what I mean, you've read the book, Never Split the Difference. And you know the tools from the Black Swan group, I guess. Or
I've listened to the audiobook and I am hosting sessions like these since January.
all right. So
because
yeah.
To learn looks like, seems like, sounds like, feels like to learn, best thing to do is start teaching it.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
absolutely.
So actually the question, so what is the experience was, like you said here, so to learn it, and that's to learn other people about it. So you get it kind of ingrained, right? Is that a wrong way of looking at your answer?
So to what you're meaning to say is, like, to summarize me, to paraphrase me, you're saying that my point of view is that in order to better learn something, teaching other people, helping other people learn is the quickest way for learning. In that case,
that's how I understood you.
In that case, you are correct.
All right. Hey, Henrik and Amber, if I could just interject for a moment. I know I just asked a yes-oriented question. I'm going to do that here for the sake of brevity. We have about 17 minutes left in terms of the scheduled time slot. Lots of people have schedules and things. And as much as we can talk about the theory behind it and, just go on and on talking about the skills, what I think is really difficult to sometimes get is that practice time where we're actually using the skills. So if it's okay with everybody, again, another yes-oriented question. I know I'm steamrolling a bit here. What I propose is that we just go ahead and practice a little bit. So a couple of, we're going to do a little bit of labeling, labeling practice. So what I would like you to do, Amber, if you could, I invite you to label me, and you can just go ahead and ask me a how or a what question. I'll reply, and then you just use only labels with me.
Cool.
It can be a very simple question.
How do you envision using these tools as a flight instructor?
Oh, that's a really good one. I envision using these tools to be able to make my students feel more comfortable in the cockpit.
Sounds like you've been confronted with situations where they weren't comfortable.
Yeah, that's right. There have been some times where I've noticed that you can feel the tension in the cockpit increase. And sometimes you notice that there's some barriers to learning when the student becomes fixated on certain things in the environment that are stressing them out.
Seems kind of dangerous situation.
Yeah, it could be. And that's exactly the reason why we have an instructor in the cockpit next to the student to maintain situational awareness. Jacob, I'd like you to jump in and continue where Amber left off. Really nice use of labels.
Cool. Still labeling you?
Yep.
Cool.
Actually, no. You know what, Jacob? You're Mr. Mirror. You're Mr. Mirror now. Now you're only going to mirror me.
Okay.
So it's really important for me to maintain situational awareness while teaching.
Situational awareness.
Absolutely, because when you're even in uncontrolled airspace, when you have lots of aircraft flying around, not talking to air traffic control, it's really important that you use your eyes and ears and I say ears, listen to the radio to make sure that you're not going to have a traffic conflict in the air.
A traffic conflict?
Yeah, a traffic conflict is a fancy pilot way of saying people running into each other in the air, which is never pretty.
Running into each other.
Yes, it's something that is quite rare, and yet the consequences are high enough that we go really out of our way to make sure that we announce our intentions and our position, and we're always looking around practicing the see and avoid rule.
See and avoid rule.
Okay, great job mirroring. Okay, we've got a handle on that. Henrik, what do you think? Are we ready to move on to the next piece?
Yeah, exactly. That sounds great. And sorry on my behalf for the theoretically going into and where you are. That was just to be Danish polite guy, you know, from one Danish to an you know, Italian and Swedish and American. So so the next point, yeah, what was that we had on the list?
I have it right here. We have 13 minutes left, and really the next piece was going to be the accusation audits.
Yeah.
And I'm going to propose, again, I'm being a total steamroller right now. I am stepping out of bounds. I'm not practicing the skills. I'm going with yes-oriented questions, which are probably going to rub some of you guys the wrong way. And I'm aware of that, and I'm doing it anyway for the sake of time. So I'm going to say, let's skip the sharing the life experiences about accusation audit. Let's jump right into practicing an accusation audit. You're laying it on thick. The scenario is, let's see here. You have just done, oh, you know what? Here we go. You've been driving down the highway. You were driving too fast and you just got pulled over. Accusation audit. Amber, go. And I will be officer. Actually, no, Henrik, you be the officer.
Yeah.
Be
exactly.
Officer McHenrik. Yeah.
McHenrik. So, ma'am, you were speeding, ma'am. Can I see your driver's license?
I'm sorry, who's doing the accusations audits?
You are. You're going to do an accusation audit here. Yeah,
right.
yeah. You know you were speeding, so here you go.
All right.
Ma'am, can I see your driver's license?
Officer, you're absolutely right. I'm totally in the wrong. I was speeding. My bad.
Yeah, you were going. I mean, do you know how fast you were going?
All right, I'm going to pause right here. Let's review real quick the accusation audit. The key of the accusation audit is not to directly admit fault. So it's not a straight up admission of guilt. The accusation audit is, let's address all the negative things that this person is thinking about us. So example, I'm going to model it, okay, for just 1 or 2 sentences. All right, officer, you know, it might seem like I have no respect for the law. It might seem like I, you know, was totally distracted and, you know, on my phone or something. You know, it might seem like I was the worst case of speeding that you've had, you know, in the last 10 years. It might feel like I was just, you know, in such a hurry that I had no regard for safety. That's accusation audit. And that's different from officer, yes, I was going 87 in a 50 and please write me the biggest fine you can. It's different. All right. Hi, George. Welcome. We're practicing accusation audits. It's a lightning round. I'm the steamroller, Jesse from Sweden, but really from the States. Not practicing manners and asking yes-oriented questions. Jacob, you've just been pulled over. Yeah. And I'm the police officer this time. Sir, license and registration, please. You were going, I just clocked you at 90 in a 65.
So it's probably going to seem like I'm being belligerent right now. Like I don't respect your job. Like maybe I dislike you as a person. Probably might feel like I don't have any regard for people's safety. It probably looked like I really didn't care about what was going on or those around me. And it probably seems like right now I'm trying to avoid giving you my license. And I'm going to try and talk my way out of this ticket. You're probably going to think I'm trying to manipulate you right now, or that I don't want to follow the law, or I think I'm
All
above
right,
the
son. All right. I've heard enough. I'll tell you what, it sounds like you're aware of what you did, and I'm going to let you off with a warning this time. You slow down, okay? Watch that lead foot.
law. Okay.
All right.
Dang
You
it.
be careful out there.
Sounds
Watch
like
those
you really
speed
want to
limits,
keep
son.
people safe.
All right. Good.
Nice guy.
All right. That
George,
was good.
that was great. That was
Take the
great.
mic.
George, do you mind go at the next speeding guy on the highway? Do you mind be the guy? Are you up being the guy, George?
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah,
oh,
sure.
yeah. All right. So you get pulled over. I'm the police guy. I'm the rare, really bad police guy. And you roll down the window and said, "Sir, can I see your registration?" You were speeding, sir.
Oh, I'm so sorry. You probably are really annoyed and mad right now. You probably see this all day long. You probably think I'm a danger and a menace to society. I don't care about other people, and I'm completely reckless.
Awesome. Okay.
Yeah.
Little bit of global feedback right here. Guys, here's what was so good. What I heard was with this accusation audit, you did not directly admit guilt. You went straight for what are the negative things that Henrik, police officer Henrik, is thinking about you right now, and you called them out without saying, "Officer, I am guilty of XYZ. You should really check the trunk of my car. The body is starting to smell. And while you're at it, you might want to take the drugs out too, because I don't want them to get ruined." So fantastic job with the accusation audit. And what I'd like to do now is pivot to how and what questions. That was on our agenda, Henrik. Henrik, am I managing to steamroll appropriately here?
Yeah, how and what questions? So the situation here is, well, actually, I'm in control of a huge company. There are some obstacles to get the company going. Well, we actually do not know what the obstacles are. We just know there are a lot of them. So, and I just don't know, what I'm supposed to do with my company. Amber, how or what questions?
Sorry, Henrik, what do you want us to do with the how or the what question here?
Ask me some how or what questions to make me put my thoughts into a new direction that I haven't thought of. That's
And
what
what's your big problem? What's the thing we're trying to pivot you towards?
Well, we've got a big organization. We're gonna have we'd like to have our sales numbers rise. We've got a lot of sales reps. They are not motivated, and we just can't figure out what's going on.
All right,
That's
who's
the
on
situation.
All right, who's in the spotlight? You choose, Henrik.
Yeah, Amber.
What do you think led to this situation?
Well, I think there are some lack of clarity on the goals. I think there are a lot of problems on the local leaders in the company. We have got leaders situated all over the country, and they don't have a clear picture of where we're going with strategy. That might be some of the solution. That left the sales guys, the sales reps in the local sales communities in a kind of a demotivated state.
Pause right there. Amber, you got a crap ton of information by asking one very simple question. Now, I'm going to ask you, George. I'll invite you to comment on how could these calibrated questions, these how and what questions, backfire? Because we just saw the upside. At what point did these start to backfire?
How did they start to backfire?
Yeah, when do they start biting us in the ass? Pardon my French.
It's possible that the other person might get defensive. I could imagine them bringing feelings of failure or blame, potentially.
Okay, they get defensive. How do these how and what questions, how do these calibrated questions, how do we potentially misuse these? And the reason I ask this question is because this is it's important to know what the upside is, and then make sure we don't step in. What's the thing we want to avoid? What's a common way to misuse this? I'm actually doing it right now and it feels uncomfortable. It likely feels uncomfortable for you because you feel put on the spot, right?
You could, the other person I imagine you could put them on the spot. Like, I'm feeling uncomfortable right now.
And what am I doing right now? How many calibrated questions have I asked you? How many how and what questions in a row have I just asked you? 5? Yeah.
Many.
Oh, and the thing is that you immediately
like I'm trying to remember all the things you asked me in a row, and my brain is trying to answer each one, but I'm 3 questions behind, and you're going a little too fast.
It feels like an interrogation.
Mm-hmm.
It feels like an interrogation. It feels like you're rushing it, like you're trying to get to a certain place for you, and you're not really. It doesn't feel like you're trying to help me.
So what we have demonstrated in this interaction is a misuse of calibrated questions, whereas Amber and Henrik demonstrated a proper use of the calibrated question. Because what did you do, Amber, after you asked your what question?
Zip it.
Absolutely. Jacob, thoughts?
Yeah, few thoughts were some of the comments from the Black Swan group is that how and what questions are used most effectively as a thought-shaping question, like what Amber did, to help open someone up, give them a direction. But as far as for information gathering, they're not as effective. That's better for like asking labels. So something like, sounds like, George, you have some ideas on how to use calibrated questions. Then to label that and to do that, because calibrated questions make you feel like you're being interrogated, and if it seems like they could make an assertive think you're an idiot or make them mad, and then especially an analyst, it'll shut them down because they'll get 3 questions behind because they're wanting to give you the correct answer and give that the time and space it needs to get that answer. And so to use those to shape thought, not to gather information.
Seems like the sequencing is important when you're talking about calibrated questions.
The sequencing and perhaps the frequency.
They're a pretty big hammer, right? So if you think about mirror, label, you're building some trust and rapport, then use a calibrated question. Mirror, more. So if you just hammer in like you did, Jesse, with how.
You're like, what are you doing to me? And
stop helping. It feels bad.
Right. You feel back in your, like you physically went back in your seat there to demonstrate. It's not an emotionally positive experience, and you have a hard stop.
That's like Derek says, it's like a stew, and every four sentences should probably be a label. Mirror. So every 4 sentences, probably a label. It's like you said, George, it's a light version. So you feel comfortable in your mirror, and when we get a hold of our tone of voice, to ask the calibrated question in the tone you did, Amber. That was 5-star. That was the what caused that? What caused the situation? What caused that? And that made me go into the situation and how I see it, what caused it. So thanks for joining us. 2020, that would be 23. And again, sorry for for the technical problems. That was premiere for the European time slot here in Italy. And George, just gotta listen. Where are you from in the world right now? Because
I'm from America, West Coast, Portland, Oregon.
And George has got to go. Let's not hold him on.
All right. Thanks. This was good. This is like real life. Hello, you're on the spot.
Next time I'll invite you, bud. Sorry for putting you on the spot like that. Yeah. All right, great. So yeah, thank you guys. I know it's our time, and I appreciate you guys. You're coming around and playing ball a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was fun. That was a start. That was so next time we'll probably be more, and we'll find out. We go into breakout rooms and everything, because that's also some really good opportunities to learn more in small spaces, as everybody knows on this call. So thanks from the Danish guy here. Thanks, Jesse, for your wonderful safety in the cockpit with your air flight in the background. So we felt safe, and nice meeting you, Amber and Jacob. So see you next time on the training.
Good. See you all. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for the recording, bud. Take care. Bye.
Yeah, take care. Bye.
Ciao.